going on, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Outside the Arena with Mac and Griff. I'm Griffin Senek, joined by my co-host Mac Rommel, and today we've got another great episode of Outside the Arena for you. We are going to once again start off by building Mac's fantasy team. Didn't go so great for us last week. We can say that we got a little bold with it, and I don't think it worked out too well. So we'll figure it out this week. Hopefully, get the bread this week, but
Hope so.
yeah, and then we'll give our week 13, I believe. Now we'll talk some week 13 football. So you ready to get the show on the road, Mac?
I'm ready. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
Share my screen, and here we go. Start off with the running back, I guess, like we normally do.
So I think we went Dalvin Cook last week, but I definitely don't think we should go him this week, even though he'll probably drop like a ton. But we're not going to go with him this week. It's too much. I think that's what killed us last time with our budget. So what are you eyeing off the bat?
I mean, we got to stick with at least one big name. And I mean, I kind of want my boy, Derrick Henry. I think I kind of want him.
All right, put him in then.
Even
We haven't really gone with Derrick Henry much. So
I know, balled out last week, 3 touchdowns, 174 yards, something like that. Absolutely demolished.
I feel like he's like a guaranteed touchdown at least once in there. So
yep.
A guy I think we should put in though, I don't know what he's worth, Devontae Booker. I think that's a must start this week against the Jets with Jacobs out. Oh, 14, yeah.
14
that's a good money saver right there.
Easy pick. Easy. Oh boy.
That's gonna be hard to pass up. Tyreek too. Thielen against the Jags even. One guy we could go for like a Justin Jefferson against the Jags if he's a little cheaper than that. Like he could still be like a 26. So
yeah, 26.
That's a lot. So we'll have him in the back of our heads. We can definitely put him in, but
let me select this again. No, I was gonna say DK versus Giants, but he would be going against Bradbury. Would not be good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tough.
Yeah, so he spent 48 on the running back. So we still got. Do we want to get the defense out of the way? Just get the easy stuff out, and like QB maybe.
What seems like nope. I mean the Bengals looks like the best option if it's $10.
If it's 10, yeah. We could go for like.
The Lions versus Chicago.
Jets
maybe?
Last week wasn't that bad, but I don't trust them this week.
Yeah.
Lions against Chicago. Yeah, I don't hate that honestly. If you want to go that, we can go that.
Yep.
It's 11. Let's just do that.
All right. Wide receiver.
Go back to receiver. Devontae Parker for 23. That honestly, if Fitzpatrick starts, that's a very
good play. Didn't he play well last week too? Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great week.
Great. 2 back-to-back 15-point games. You want to plug them in?
I mean, yeah, the only risk is if Tua does play, then it could be not great because he hasn't played amazing with Tua.
Yeah.
But I do like him. And Brandon Cooks for 18. We might have to put him in, actually, too.
Oh, yeah. Especially with Will Fuller.
With Fuller out, yeah.
Now he's going to be
seems like kind of a steal.
I want to see his stats recently. It's 11-10. That's probably going to go up this week, honestly.
Yeah, more targets for him for sure. He could definitely have a huge game.
All right. I think let's put him in.
All right, let's do it.
Number 1 receiver. 2 more to
Brandon Cooks.
Any cheap guys? Crowder, Slayton.
Taylor Boyd is
Slayton.
Cheap.
Oh, wait, but he's going to have Colt McCoy playing. I was about to say. Jarvis Landry for 15. And
that could be really good, yeah.
What the? Okay.
I mean, if we want to do like a Jarvis and then we go for like a Devontae Adams, then we could do that maybe.
Yeah, I think we should do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Cheap Jarvis, jeepers.
So how much do we have? We have 108 left for 4 positions. So that's that's manageable. I'm sure we can find another cheap guy in there too.
Yep. I'm thinking.
So who do we want for receiver?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Devontae Adams versus Slay is the only question for me.
I mean, DK torch Slay, so I feel like
Yeah. Shoot.
Devontae could be the play. I mean, what did Tyreek? Tyreek is just so good now.
We
That's
know.
the thing.
We
He's
know
so
what he
consistent.
did last week.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's Devontae been up to? I feel like he's due for a big game.
15, 20, 14. Oh, yeah. I mean,
what's Tyreek? Go to Tyreek. I mean, it is $5 more, so we might maybe put in Devontae. Oh my God, that's crazy.
51 points. Just looking at that is
it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
I don't know.
I like Devontae better personally, but I don't know what you think.
I think we could plug him in. And if we need more money elsewhere, we'll come back and we could
yeah, exactly.
5 for a hill.
Tight end. So we're not going to be able to go Kelsey likely. We could go. Evan Ingram had a really big game last week.
He's going against Seattle this week. Bad.
But Daniel Jones is not going to be playing. That's going to be the issue.
And about that, every single time I'm seeing a player, I forget. Oh. Is this like
Henry is like solid, but he's not like a stud.
Any cheap guys? Zach Ertz for 50.
Hayden Hurst for 14 isn't terrible.
Hayden Hurst, I swear, every week it's cheap for him. Or Noah Fant with lockback too. I mean,
it's been kind of dud in it. What's Hurst been up to?
Hayden Hurst.
It's not great.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Any cheapies? Nothing great down there.
Kyle Rudolph had a good game last week. But was Irv Smith out? Oh. Could go Kyle Rudolph, maybe.
Where do you see his name?
He was just down a little bit right there.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he had a good look what he did last week. I'm pretty sure it was a pretty solid game. Yeah, 10
points with Irv Smith out now. So he's definitely that number one guy there.
Yeah, against Jacksonville.
For 12, too. I think.
Yeah, we might need to save money here and go for it.
Yeah, but we can get it.
We can always come back if we have to.
Yeah.
All right, so we have QB and flex.
Do you want to go QB first and see?
Yeah, I think we might have to go. Taysom's expensive this week. God damn, 32.
No, we're the cheap guys that will be starting. Mayfield and Rivers.
Mitch for 20. Honestly, I know we have Lions D, but Mitch for 22 is not like terrible.
I know. Yep.
Like I don't hate that.
It's not bad. What did he put up last week? 20 points. Not too bad. Not too bad.
I mean, we would probably want to adjust Lions D if we did that, but then it would also, if we did Mitch, then we could get like we would have like 35 left, right?
Yep.
So then we could go like a stud and maybe even upgrade at tight end too.
Mm-hmm. And if we don't feel comfortable with this Lions, we could always do like the Bengals for 10 or something like that.
Exactly, and make even more.
All right, I guess I'll plug Trubisky in for that. And now we have 35.
Okay, I like this. 35. We could get Tyreek, dude.
Yo, oh my gosh. It's a must. Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill. Oh my god.
Do we want to take out Lions D or do we keep it in so then if Mitch has a terrible game, our defense at least plays well?
That's a good point. Good point. Or you could root for Mitch Trubisky to do well in the last, get a lot of fumbles. That's
exactly.
That's the ultimate hope right there. You know what? I think we should keep it.
This is a really good lineup.
I know.
Like,
how is it like Henry, Adams, and Hill? How?
It's wild because we spent going cheap with receiver was key. I mean, we got two tight ends really cheap for us. This is the cheapest tight end in quarterback weeks we've like ever had.
Yep. It's
I think this might be a real chance to have a win here. I'm not gonna lie.
I think so too. even by a big margin, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some breakout potential there. Wow.
We do.
Well, that is a very strong team. So I'm excited for that, honestly. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I guess with that, we can start talking about what we saw last week in the NFL season. I mean, overall, there were some surprises, I would say. I'm trying to find the right week. This was it, week
Yep.
12. So the Chargers lost by more than one score. That's kind of a shocker.
That's a first. It's a first.
It's a first. It really is.
It is.
Titans with a blowout win over the Colts. I feel like we should touch on this one.
Yep.
We hate
We
the
have
Colts
to.
so much.
We have to.
It was good to see the Colts finally just kind of struggle. Their run game wasn't going at all. Brissett had 2 rushing touchdowns. That's funny.
Carrying the run
That's
game.
really
What can I say?
Yeah, but they just looked outmatched. Their defense could not stop anything. So it was good to finally see this Colts team suffer, and maybe they'll lose out. We'll see. But what did you think of this one?
It was a much needed loss for us Colts haters. And this is exactly what I've been saying and wanting the Titans to do all season. It's what they did in the playoffs. Use Derrick Henry, let him get over 150 rushing yards, and then let Ryan Tannehill just be compliment him. And that's exactly what they did. Derrick Henry, you see, 178 yards. And look at Ryan Tannehill, only 13 completions. So he didn't even have to throw the ball a lot, and considering he put up 221 yards on 13 completions, that is mind blowing. It's probably not going to happen again this season. Hopefully it does, but it's unrealistic how well the Titans played last week. The Colts, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I agree with the fact that they just did what they do best, which is run the football, and we've seen that pay off for them. And they're playing better now. They went through that rough stretch where they lost 2 in a row, and then 3 of 4 they lost. But then they've come back. They've beaten the Ravens, who at this point we'll talk about that game. But yeah, I think they're in a good trend, and very good game this week between them and the Browns. So we'll get to that later. But good Colts loss. We love a good Colts loss.
You love to see it.
Vikings. I got the Vikings win there. I predicted that one. I remember.
I mean,
just a good Vikings look good. Yeah. Potential playoff run. I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on this, but do you think the Minnesota Vikings could make a run and squeeze into the playoffs?
Actually, honestly, I would not be surprised whatsoever. This team, they started off so bad and they've been so hot. I mean, they haven't lost many games recently, aside for that Cowboys loss 2 weeks ago. But this game is what is proven. It's a young team. You got young players mixed with great veterans. And I really don't think that many other teams in the league could pull off. What were they losing, 21-10 into the fourth or something like that? And then they come back.
Yeah.
So it blows my mind. But to have young players who could shine when they need to be accounted for, and then have the leaders who could hype up those young players and let them do their thing, like the Justin Jeffersons of the world right now. I mean, that's exactly what the Vikings need to do. They did it, and they're going to make a run.
I agree. I think, the Vikings, they're just a very good team. It was kind of weird seeing them do so poorly. They've got great players on the defense in Eric Kendricks and Harrison Smith. I mean, those guys are 2 of the best at their positions.
And a young
the
secondary.
offense is, yeah, exactly. And the offense, you have Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs, if not the best in the league.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, takes a lot of hate, but he played well, 34 for 35, 307, 3 touchdowns. That's what he can do and what he's shown he can do. And you look at them without Adam Thielen, even Ola BC Johnson, 7 catches, 74 yards. Justin Jefferson, I think right now is playing like the best receiver in this draft class. 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's really filled that Diggs role well, if not better than Stephon Diggs was doing. So they really knocked that one out of the park with the Diggs trade. Great trade for both teams. So the Bills aren't upset about that at all. But yeah, really good win for the Vikings, and they'll look to continue it this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, looking at their schedule, they got the Jags, they got the Lions, they got the Bears, who are beatable, and then some tougher games with the Bucs and the Saints. So we'll see what happens with them, but they definitely could squeeze it in potentially.
Yep, 9-7 record may actually be enough to do it and put them in there. Win one of those games,
Exactly.
maybe against the Saints or even against the Bucks, and they should have a very good shot at it.
Yeah. I mean, we can touch on the Cardinals, Pats quickly. Kyler Murray has seemed after that injury that he has not been able to play the same football. He has really struggled. 23 for 34, 170 yards, and an interception here. They're not rushing that much. Kenyon Drake's doing all right. He's getting better, but they're not getting the ball to D Hop as much as they were. On the other side of the ball, Patriots, I mean, it's kind of incredible that they have 5 wins. Cam Newton
I
is
know.
is really terrible. I don't think he's good at all. I mean, 9 for 18, 84 yards and 2 interceptions. It's crazy that is winning a football game, but
I think COVID messed him
they're
up.
yeah,
Ever since
they're
that COVID, he
figuring
was
it out how to.
different. I
I
mean,
know they're figuring it out. They're doing what they have to. But I mean, what did you think of this one? I don't really know what else too much to say on this, but the Cardinals are not playing good right now.
I agree with you. I mean, losing a few games straight, and then especially the Patriots, who would have thought that this would be the outcome of the game? It kind of seemed going in this game, it could even be a blowout by the Cardinals. You come into this and you let Cam Newton beat you with 2 interceptions and not even 100 yards. Makes no sense to me how you lose this game. And then you'll lose a game. It's not even like the other team's putting up good stats. Look at the stats. Cam Newton, as I just said, 2 interceptions, not even a touchdown. The running backs, look at that. Not really doing much either. They're Cam Newton was kind of the main guy that was running the ball there, but Harris, he wasn't doing that much. James White wasn't doing that much either, and you're losing to a team that could barely do anything against you. You're playing well. It kind of seems defensively, and you're still losing. It makes no sense, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for the Pats to get in just because of how crazy packed the AFC is right now. But
And Bill
who
Belichick,
knows,
you never
man?
know.
Who knows exactly? We definitely have to touch on
Yeah.
this game because of our support for the Oakland or the Vegas Raiders this year. This was one of the most dominant losses I've ever seen a team receive ever. I'd say 43-6. I believe the Raiders had 4 fumbles in this one. Completely unacceptable. They can't hold on to the football. I mean, Josh Jacobs is now injured. They do have a week with the Jets now, but the Jets did beat them last year. The Jets were a lot better though last year. But
Mhm.
Mac, what are your main takeaways from this? And I mean, it's not looking great for Vegas right now.
It's not, as you said, the Josh Jacobs injury, and I mean, maybe that could have really changed the pace of this game, getting Josh Jacobs more involved. But 7 carries, 27 yards, 3.9 average. I mean, backs have a bad starts to their games like that. Sometimes we got to keep getting them involved, and especially as a kind of a run first team with one of the best backs in the NFL, you have to be running the ball, and they compliment Derek Carr to him. Not as much as the Titans are doing, but you got to use Josh Jacobs. You didn't use him really at all. And I actually think that is one of the main reasons for the loss, because I don't think they would have allowed 43 points. They would have more control of the clock. They would have put up more points in this game. Probably would have still been a loss, but would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head. They're also not using a guy like Darren Waller, who right now is arguably the second best healthy tight end in the National Football League. You got to use him more than 4 catches, 23 yards. I mean, you see, I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce by any means, but you see Travis Kelce, he gets every game like 8 catches, 80 yards at the
Yep.
minimum. And Waller is just so inconsistent. He'll have those huge games, but then he'll have these kind of games. And you got to get Waller more involved. I don't know what the game plan change would have to involve for that, but you got to get Waller more involved. Falcons are a high-powered offense.
They
Their
are.
offense didn't even do that much here, but even without Julio, this offense still gets it done. They still have playmakers. They have Calvin Ridley, who is arguably a number 1 receiver. Hayden Hurst is a great tight end. He's establishing himself. And they didn't have Todd Gurley either, and they win this game 43-6. I mean, that's what blows my mind. Arguably, 2 of your better offensive players, your best one, and then your mid-level at this point, Todd Gurley. And you win 43-6 over a playoff contending team. I mean, it blows my mind. Another game that blows my mind, but this was a really rough game for Vegas, but I feel like they're going to be really motivated to turn the ship this week against the Jets. So 0-12 it looks like for my New York Jets. I won't be
You
surprised when
never
that
know.
happens.
Never know.
We didn't touch on it too much. I mean, these are a lot of good games, so we're kind of going into a bunch of them, but Saints Broncos. I mean, real quick, what did you think of the whole situation here with the Broncos? Do you think they should have played even this game? I mean, what was your takeaway from watching this football game?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of proves you the NFL is a business that it kind of puts that into perspective, especially comparing it to the Ravens game. They moved the Ravens game. Of course, they had 24 players on COVID reserve at one point, but to have a team that loses all four quarterbacks, it's not like the Ravens. They only lost two of them, or actually they only lost one by the time that game came around. But to lose all of your quarterbacks, all four, not being able to sign anyone because of COVID restrictions, and then having to use your practice squad wide receiver, find out less than 24 hours beforehand. I mean, the guy probably didn't even know any plays. Like, he probably was up all night studying plays one by one. I mean, he probably even studied, probably max had like 5 seconds to study each play if you want to have success. But this is just a business. I mean, this game proved that it's a business, that you continue to play this game, but then you move the Ravens game. And I think if the Ravens didn't have Lamar Jackson, that game probably would have played too. But just because of the big name that Lamar Jackson has and not playing, that's probably why they moved it, and they didn't move this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like also, I mean, you just got to assume that the Saints would win this game regardless, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. This game should have been moved. It's ridiculous that they made them play with the guy who, wasn't even on the roster. I mean, they seriously asked if one of their coaches can play
Yeah.
quarterback. I mean, that's kind of how crazy this is. And I think it's absurd that the game didn't get moved at least for a few days to see if those quarterbacks could clear, the COVID reserve list. But it's tough to say anything too much on the Broncos. And really great effort from Kendall Hinton. You can't judge his stats at all, really,
Yeah,
too
and
much.
don't forget, he does have a record. For the second time in NFL history, the Broncos and him have been able to have more interceptions than completions. Don't forget that. It's a one in the record books.
Well, I totally forgot about that, but that is true. And another thing, though, that is kind of crazy that I saw was, these Denver Broncos without a quarterback scored as many points as Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers with one of the most high-powered offenses against the same New Orleans Saints team. They both scored 3 points. So, I mean, even scoring is fantastic for the Denver Broncos. And I thought the Saints did a great job. You heard Sean Payne say they adjusted their game plan. They wanted to keep the clock ticking. They didn't want to start throwing the ball around, making stupid mistakes. They knew their ground game was stronger than the Broncos, and it showed. Latavius Murray, forget Alvin Kamara at this point.
I
Alvin
know.
Kamara is like the second back. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but
Still, once
Latavius Murray
again,
is
not a 15-yard carry game. I mean, not a 15 carry game, not 15-yard carry game.
I mean, you don't need to do it, though, when Latavius Murray's going for 19 and
Yep.
124. It's kind of crazy. Taysom Hill, they used him pretty well. He didn't play great, but I expect a bounce back week out of him in terms of passing, because it just didn't seem like they were having any throwing. And I mean, this is a terribly worded sentence, but I think the passing attack was really diminished in the game plan. I'll put it like that. But yeah, I mean, you expect this game for the Saints, but really weird situation and really corrupt, as you've kind of pointed to.
Yep.
Chiefs, Bucks. We'll touch on it.
Briefly.
Yeah, we'll briefly touch on. I mean, to me, Mahomes at this point is easily the front runner for the MVP, and I think the Chiefs are easily the team to beat in the NFL right now. Regardless if the Steelers are undefeated, I think the Chiefs would still beat the Steelers by probably 10 or 15 points. In all honesty, what did you think of this game overall on both sides of the ball? What did you like from the Bucks, maybe? And yeah, overall, what were your thoughts? Obviously, Tyreek Hill putting up historic numbers.
Well, Patrick Mahomes, as you said, front runner, MVP right now. Russ, I mean, he had it at the beginning of the season. Maybe he would still have it right now if he didn't slow down for a bit. But Mahomes, he's proving in just a few years, we could already probably consider him the GOAT. I'm saying it. He's going to be the GOAT in just a few years. 3 years is not enough to call him the GOAT, but maybe 2 or 3 more, we'll be calling him that. But Tyreek Hill, I'm lost for words.
He's on our team this week. We got him this
played
week.
out of his mind. 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, 100 yards more, and you have the record. I mean, in the first half of that first quarter, he was on pace for 1,000 yards this game. That just puts in perspective how how hot of a start he had. He played great. On the other hand, for the Buccaneers, I did not like the slow start, but I liked seeing Tom Brady start to battle it back and try to make this game a lot closer than it was at first. And Ronald Jones, I think you give him a few more carries. He averaged 7.3. That could have helped you early on in the game, especially controlling the time possession. And you could have had a shot to win this game, I think, if you ran the ball a little bit more.
I thought it was a strong effort from the Bucs. They started out really slow. Like you see, at the end of the first quarter, they're losing 17-0. They outscored them 24-10 to end the game. So the last three quarters, they really stepped it up. I liked what I saw. Brady seemed to have corrected himself, started making better throws, better decisions. Gronk had a big game. Godwin seems to be used the right way. Evans, they're using him how he needs to be used. Few catches a game, a lot of yards, few touchdowns. AB wasn't used much, but they're using their guys, which I like, and they're still figuring it out. But this is definitely a step in the right direction. They have their bye now. So post-bye, I know their schedule's pretty easy. They got the Vikings, who are a pretty solid team, but they get the Falcons twice in the line. So you probably expect them to win the last three games. So 10 wins in the NFC should get them in the playoffs. I still think they're going to be a tough team to beat. We've seen really moments of real strength. Specifically that Green Bay Packers game and the Panthers game, even you could bring up, and the Raiders too. But we've also seen those low moments like the Saints game. So it's hard to say what will happen with the Bucs, but good sign for them. I think overall, really, 3 points with honestly the best team in the NFL is no thing to be ashamed of. So overall, really good performance there.
Great.
I want to touch on the Eagles, but I'm going to touch on it when we get to them. Just because the game itself was a dud, but I do want to have a touch on that. And we'll touch on Ravens Steelers. Trace McSorley, we got to talk about it, man. The man himself.
Throw it on a dime. That touchdown
16 yards. He had more rushing yards than Gus Edwards. Gus Bus. Really didn't have a game. Marquise Brown got going. 3 receivers had catches. That's funny.
Oh.
Honestly, this was a bad game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Ravens?
I would say. You can go, yeah. Take this one. What were your thoughts?
I just wanted to say the Ravens, they played great. 18 players into this game on COVID reserve. Your starting quarterback, your 2 running backs, Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and you have no one. You have to switch quarterbacks at one point, and you put up 14 and only lose by 5. That's great, and this was just a bad game from the Steelers. In my opinion, they should have absolutely demolished the Ravens, and they didn't, and that's a problem and a sign where I don't think they could even make it that far in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Steelers team, I just doubt right now. I'm not too confident with them, honestly. A really bad game, like we've said. They did have James Conner out, but I'm playing a YouTube video now. That's not what we wanted to do, but yeah, they had James Conner out, but overall, they just didn't do too much. They didn't really get everyone involved like they should have. A lot of short yard gains. And give credit to the Baltimore Ravens defense. Overall, pretty healthy, and they played pretty strong in this one. So that Ravens defense, which is a strength of theirs, showed in this. But overall, Steelers should be very disappointed with how they played. This should have been a lot bigger of a win. They might be 11-0, but I'm not really sure they're the best team in the AFC. Definitely not. I think the Chiefs are better than them. And, maybe you could even argue that a team like Buffalo could be better. I don't think so, but it's hard to say really what the future holds for this team, but we'll see. I don't got much more to say on them than that.
Just quickly before I start our predictions for this week, dare I say, is this going to be a 16-0 team that loses in their first playoff game that they play? Is it going to happen?
We'll take a look at their schedule. The teams they've played: Giants, Broncos, Texans, not great. Eagles, not great. Browns, good win here. Titans, good win. Ravens, solid. Cowboys, not good game there. You won by 5. Bengals, sure. Jags. Their schedule's been really easy, honest to God.
I know,
their schedule, they're going to lose. They're not going to beat football team, Bills, Colts, and Browns. They're not going to beat all 4 of those teams and the Bengals. I assume they'll beat the Bengals, but out of these 4 games, I can't see them winning.
Actually, don't even sleep on the Bengals. That's a division game in Cincinnati.
If it was Burrow, I would agree, but no Burrow.
Maybe you'll see some luck there.
Maybe we'll see, but Yeah, I
Right
don't think
now,
they're going to go undefeated. I could honestly see them losing 2 to 3 games this year and just having a 13-3 season. Nothing too
yep.
special. So see what happens there. But let's get into predictions. Do you have anything else you want to touch on from week 12? I know I took the lead kind of on that, but anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'm
No.
good. We
All right.
covered all the main games.
All right. So I'll let you take the lead on predictions for this week. How about that?
All right, let's do it. So first, Saints, Falcons, two teams who absolutely demolished their opponents last week. Great game by the Saints, great game by the Falcons. And what are your thoughts on this game, Griff?
I'm gonna go Saints here. We saw the Saints beat the Falcons a few weeks ago, 2 Sundays ago, 24-9 with Taysom Hill. So it's gonna be a similarly run team, similarly run game plan. While I do like the Falcons and Julio Jones might play, I can't pick them here. The Saints are, probably the best team in the NFC right now, and it's kind of crazy because there was a point in the season where, people were like, "Oh, are the Saints really that good?" They don't seem that good. But
Yeah,
they're 9-2. That's kind of it. Just is like, wow, the Saints are really 9-2.
it
They're
seems
really
like
going to
that.
do another.
It seems like that every single year. I remember that streak where
I
they
know.
always started 0-2, and then they took
Yeah,
off.
they just get it going, and really good team. They've got a bunch of quarterbacks that can sling it, that can go in. There's not really. Once Breeze went down, there was no worry about, we don't really have a great guy to continue leading. They got Taysom going, and if Taysom doesn't get the job done, then Jameis is ready to come in. So I'm gonna go Saints here. I can't pick against them right now. Is how I'd put it.
I have to agree with you there. And this game, I do think it's going to be close. I think it could be a one-score game, really, especially with how the Falcons' offense played last week, and even their defense, especially too. A defense that hasn't been that great this week. You're getting Todd Gurley back, will obviously help against a Saints team you're trying to beat. You are at home, that'll help a little bit too. But the Saints, Taysom Hill, they found their groove, especially running the ball, and I cannot pick against them right now.
Definitely.
Yep. All right. The Jaguars, Vikings. I mean, this game is kind of chalk for me, easy for me. So I'll just put it right out there. Vikings, young team with a lot of veterans. They're going to be good. We both believe they have a chance to make a run to the playoffs, and this is where it all is going to start again.
Yeah, Vikings here is chalk, as you put it. 6-6. They'll be they get Adam Thielen back. Should be a cakewalk for them. The Jags did give the Browns some trouble, but the Browns missed they left a lot of points on the field, as Baker Mayfield put it. So should be a Vikings W here, and I wouldn't be surprised if really huge game comes out of one or maybe even two of Thielen, Jefferson, and Dalvin Cook.
Yep. And now a game. This game is going to be
It's a
controlled
great game.
by the run. This game is all run, and I think whoever gets the run game established first is going to be the team that wins this game. And this is the Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans, a team in the Tennessee Titans with probably one of the best backs in the league, top 2, top 3 in Derrick Henry, and the Browns with easily the best running back duo in the NFL in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. This is a great game, so I'm gonna let you in your Ohio roots take the Browns, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was honestly, I kind of zoned out for a second there because I saw this Colin Cowherd claims Browns to move on from Baker Mayfield with a loss to Titans, and I honestly just zoned out. I was just kind of like, what in the world is that? So I'm not even sure if you've picked a team yet. Did you pick Titans or Browns? What did you pick?
I was throwing that up to you first.
Okay, you're throwing it to me. Okay, that's what I thought. Sorry about that. Zoned out. The Browns will not be moving on from Baker Mayfield. I'll tell you that. An 8-3 quarterback is not going to be benched for Case Keenum after this week. But I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns here. I believe Myles Garrett is good to go. I'm trying to look. Oh, he's back, and he's not here to make a cameo. I think he's going to be ready to go. He still likely wants to lead the NFL in sacks, and I think he's going to put a few on the board today. Titans defense has been a little sketchy recently. Browns defense has also been bad, but with Myles Garrett back, I feel like that team will be ready to go, and they also want to prove that they're good. They've been the underdogs a lot this year. Teams and the media really has still, called this team really not capable of being good. I think 8-3 is a shock to a lot of people. No one thought they'd be 8-3. Some people predicted a lot of people, I think, had them at 7-9. So this Cleveland Browns team is a lot better than people think, and it's because of that run attack, and I think we'll see that on Sunday.
Yep, you're choosing Browns run attack. I'm gonna go against you. I love me some Derrick Henry. I mean, my one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm not picking against him, and I actually think this could even be a blowout. I don't know why. I'm
Really?
picking
Okay.
actually not a blowout, but I'll give the Titans a 10-point win. I love what they're doing in the run game, especially with how they complimented Ryan Tannehill to Derrick Henry last week. That's exactly how you have to play. Defense played a little bit better, especially against the Colts team, who was looking pretty good for a few weeks. Gave us some scares because we do not want to see them win at all. But the Titans, I think they're going to get a 10-point win here at least.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. And a key could honestly be AJ Brown versus Jarvis, who will have the bigger game. Maybe that could be a
Sleeper matchup.
storyline there to watch out for.
Oh,
Lions Bears. It's a weird one. Lions, Kenny Galladay is out. DeAndre Swift might not play. Mac, what are you thinking?
the Bears, they started 5-1 for a reason. Somehow they dropped to 5-6. They're gonna go back, get their first win in a long, long time. They're gonna sit at 6-6 after this game. If Kenny Galladay was in this game, DeAndre Swift, as you said, maybe out. But if you have them, this game could be close. But you're playing against a Bears defense who is absolutely great. And if you have no weapons on offense, I don't know how you're going to be able to get anything going. I think this is going to be a low scoring game, but I do think the Bears are going to come out on top.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I like the Bears here. They're too due for a win as well. When you lose 5 in a row, you're kind of just due to get one. So I'm going to pick them here against the Lions. Like you said, Kenny Galladay is out for this game. That's going to play a factor. Lions just got blown out by the Houston Texans, who they're all right, but hopefully our boy Mitch will put some points on the board for the team. And yeah, Bears win. If Allen Robinson is injured, this could be very different though. But I think he's expected to play, but if he, for some reason, is out, this could be a very different game. But otherwise, I'm going to pick the Bears here.
Yep, good choice. And now this is a game, I mean, where there's potential for both of the two of the top three quarterbacks would have been playing in this game if it wasn't due to injury. And now it's looking like neither could be playing. Bengals, of course. Joe Burrow is out for the season. And now they have Brandon Allen, who is going to Miami to try and take down Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick in Miami. So, I mean, I kind of blanked out for a second trying to think of you were that little pause. I'm like,
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna let you take this one first. I think I know who you're picking here, though.
I got to pick Van Ginkel, man. I got to go with the Gangster.
You may be getting his jersey
you know,
soon too.
I know. Once they clinch, I'll buy his jersey. I don't even know if they sell it on it. Let's see. Honestly, I'll take a quick little break here. We'll go to NFL Shop. Oh, nope, I don't want to sale. Actually, that might be nice. Maybe I'll buy
Man,
a
Ginkle.
jersey.
He's got to have one. Yep, there you
Oh,
go.
he has a jersey. I think I got to cop it, dude. I think I might actually have to cop. What is this? Site-wide sale?
25%. I mean, can't go wrong with that. I mean,
Let's cop.
you doing it
Oh,
right?
is it actually? If it's actually 25%, I'll actually go buy it. I don't know if it is. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, use code. You have to add the code into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do the credit, but I just want to see if if the code actually works. Then I'll buy it.
Yeah, everyone watching this, now you know. Go get your stuff on NFLShop.com right now before
Well, I don't know if
Oh.
it'll be out by then because
NFL Shop always has something. Maybe they'll have free shipping tomorrow. So
Oh, it's excluded from the promotion.
Wow.
Gosh, annoying. Well, I'll get a Van Ginkel jersey event. I'll figure it out. I'll get one.
What lie?
They have to make the playoffs though.
They said site wide, and they don't give it.
Wide, yeah. It's ridiculous, but yeah, Van Ginkel's too due here. I love my man Van Ginkel, and I'm loving the Miami Dolphins here. Give me the Dolphins.
I'm gonna agree with you there. Not much to add on to that. Dolphins easy win. Joe Burrow's here. Maybe we'd have a really good game on our hands.
I think the Bengals would win if Burrow was here, honestly.
Yep, but without him, this is a Miami Dolphins win.
8-4. That team is gonna be ready. What's their schedule looking down the line? Oh, they got tough schedule.
I think maybe 3 more wins. They can sit at 10.
You think they'll take the Pats and the Raiders, maybe?
Yeah, I think they could sit at 10. And you never know with them. I mean, they've looked good special teams and defensively. And I just saw their second in defending in points allowed. I believe it was they're second only behind the Steelers. So they're in good company there. But maybe they're even going to be able to squeak out a win versus the Chiefs or Bills. You never know. Van Ginkel may come in clutch and one of
Van the Gangster, what did he do last week against the Jets?
Oh.
Did he even have a tackle? He had 2 tackles and 2 assists. What are his stats? We got to take a peek at the stats. I have to. I'm too tempted.
Always coming in clutch. Always coming clutch.
He's got no picks this year. He's got a few QB hits in there. He's got a tutty. He's got a fumble recovery. I know he had a block kick. Defensive snaps, he doesn't even play that much, but he's on the field. He's my boy. I love Van Ginkel. He's my boy.
When you call him to have a big game, he has a big game.
That was actually, yeah, dude, that was wild. I called him to have a big game, and then he blocks the freaking punt. That was awesome. But big game from Andrew Van Ginkel. I'm going to say he gets at least 1 sack in this game.
I was going to say that too.
Maybe gets a fumble. I'm not sure about the fumble, but I think he'll get a sack.
We'll see what happens.
If he gets a sack, I'll buy the jersey no matter what. How about that?
All right.
He gets a sack. Colts, Texans.
Let's do it. Let me go. I'm just saying it. I hate the Colts. Give me Texans. I'm not saying anything. Brandon Cooks. Please go off. These Colts deserve another loss. They deserve it.
I'm going Texans as well here. I hate the Colts, and they need to lose. And, taking a peek at their schedule, they might lose 3 of these games. 9-win team. It could be sketchy to get in there.
As long as they beat the Colts.
I'm a Texans guy this week. We'll go Texans. So, yeah, but honestly, I'm not buying the Colts Phillip Rivers deal this week. Texans look really good offensively. I know Will Fuller's gone now, and Bradley Roby too. There's definitely some sketchy business going on in the locker room there with the PEDs, but that's not, that's for the doctors to deal with. But yeah, I'll go Texans here just for fun. And David Johnson might play, so if he does, could be ugly. But we'll see. Raiders, Jets. I mean, I know you're taking the lead on this, but we don't even have to speak about this. Even without Josh Jacobs, this is a blowout. Raiders will probably beat the Jets by at least 2 touchdowns here. And, honestly, as a Jets guy, I know I've been big about, I want Darnold to stay and Trevor to be traded if they get the number 1 pick. I'm moving on from that idea. I'm just not seeing it from Sam Darnold right now. He's not selling it. I hate Trevor Lawrence with a passion, but I'm gonna accept that the quarterback that they take in number 1's the new guy. They need a new franchise quarterback. Darnold, unfortunately, I don't know. It's the team that screwed him, but it's just time to move on. He's not playing good anymore. He's not doing anything unique, special that I'm seeing out of him. I'm not getting those glimpses of superstardom that I once saw. So he's young, but I'm going to say we need to move on this offseason.
Sadly, I mean, I'm agreeing. I thought Sam Darnold was the guy too. I thought he could do it, but I'm like, maybe he gets some receivers. Maybe he'll start coming along, but it hasn't been that. Adam Gase said that's what he's been dedicated to doing, trying to improve Sam Darnold, and it's not working. And then you're seeing these receivers. They're actually all 3 of them. Perriman, Mims, and Crowder, they're all playing great right now. They're all getting open a lot, and he's still struggling to get them and find them the ball. So Sam Darnold, your receiver stepped up, and it proved to me that you're not the guy right now.
I agree, man. It hurts to say, but that's where I'm at. And the Jets, man, that Dolphins game was a big one to win. Now you're really looking at week 17 as you're probably – I would honestly say this week could be winnable. If they're going to win a game this season, I don't think you're going to either of these stadiums in the NFC West and winning. And I don't think you're beating the Cleveland Browns. So you got 2 games left that are winnable in my eyes, but probably not even this week because I just said they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns.
Yep. But now the Giants, with their injured quarterback, Daniel Jones, who is doubtful for this week, they're going to Seattle to face Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. We know what DK Metcalf has been doing. He's been balling, and he's going to have a great matchup this week versus James Bradbury. What are your thoughts?
Seahawks by 2 touchdowns. No Daniel Jones to me means no chance the Giants win this game. Regardless of how bad the Seahawks defense has been this season, they're actually not been terrible recently. They, against here's the problem with the Giants right now. The running attack is, it's all right, but it's not. There's no Saquon there. Receivers are going to be slowed down with Colt McCoy behind center. I just can't pick. I can't pick against the Seahawks in this one. Seahawks have, they haven't been amazing how they have been those first few weeks of the season, but I can't pick against them here. I think Tyler Lockett could have a big game. Giants defense has been playing well, but I think it's going to be they're going to be in for a rough ride here.
Yep, I got to agree with you there completely. The Seattle Seahawks, I think, are going to get exactly a 2-touchdown win. I think they're going to win 27-13. The Giants, they are not going to do well this game. The only upside for them in that offense of having a chance is that the Seattle Seahawks in their secondary and their back end of that defense has not been good. So maybe Colt McCoy could find some rhythm in this offense and get some things going, but I doubt that's going to happen. Wayne Gallman is going to have to carry this team, and that is highly unlikely to say the least. So the Seahawks, they're going to get a big win here over the New York Giants.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep, and now this is honestly probably the game of the week in my opinion, probably your opinion too, and that is the Los Angeles Rams. Aaron Donald trying to get in the face of Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. For me, I want to take the lead on this one. The Rams, they've looked good recently. They've had their downs, but they've also had their ups, and that's all really with Jared Goff. You see, last week he didn't have the best week compared to the week prior to that, actually, where he almost had 400 yards passing. So the Rams, they're trying to turn things around from last week's loss to the division rival 49ers. We all know that was a game that they probably should have easily won, especially with all the players that they have out.
Niners are just their kryptonite. Twice this year they've lost to them.
It's crazy. I mean, with all of the injuries that they have, and they beat the Rams, it makes no sense to me. But I think this is a game where the Rams get on track. They're going to get a win here, especially with Aaron Donald going against the Cardinals' offensive line. I was about to say front seven by accident, but corrected myself and caught myself. But I think Kyler Murray is going to have a lot of problems this week going against Aaron Donald, that front seven of the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I know you said it's probably the game of the week for you. For me, mine is a Browns Titans. I just think that's a sick game to watch. I like that one, but to me, Rams are going to win here by 10 points. They're playing really well. I'm not going to pick against them here, and especially for a Cardinals team that just looked horrific last week against New England. They lost 2 in a row now, and to me, this isn't the week for them to quite turn around. I think Kyler Murray will play better, but I can't pick him here. I got to pick the Rams. I feel like Cooper Kupp will have a bigger game than he did last week. It's part of the reason I think they've struggled with the Niners so much this year is they haven't been able to get Cooper Kupp going against San Francisco. He's had 2 games and about 5 catches in both those games for not too many yards. So big game from Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and company. I'm going to take the Rams here.
Yep, and I mean Cam Akers too. I forgot to mention him last week. He started to break out. He had 9 carries. I don't remember how many yards, but it was definitely and easily over 5 yards per carry. Starting to get him more involved, then you have a really good shot to be one of the better teams in the NFL once again. But now, 2 teams. This game, I mean, one team we kind of like, the other team and not so much. The Patriots, they're going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. This one, I actually think it's going to be easy, honestly. It's going to be a 1 score, of course, as we all know. But Chargers, I think they're going to get the win here over the lousy Patriots. The Chargers, pass rush, you can never deny how great they are. And you're going against the Patriots and Cam Newton, who's been struggling to throw the ball. You get in the face of Cam Newton, he's going to have a really hard game, especially with Casey Hayward. Everyone forgets about him on the back end of that defense, who they got no receivers there in New England right now. No receivers, excuse me, and they're going to have a really, really hard week against the Chargers this week.
I completely agree with you. I like the Chargers this week. I like the Chargers in general. I think the Chargers' future is very bright now. They've got that franchise quarterback. They were hesitant to go with Herbert or at least, what the media paints it out to be. They were
Yep.
not sure if they should go QB, but they did. They made 100% the right decision. They've got him. Austin Eckler looked fantastic last week, and that's the key to me for this one. You got Eckler back. He had like 11 catches last week. He's a fantasy whiz. I loved him. I had him in a league that I had to win in, and I won because of Austin Eckler. So I love the Chargers here. Pats, I hate. I don't think. I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for the New England Patriots this season. I think we will see them. They can't tank for Trevor anymore. You've lost that. The Jets aren't winning 5 games, so sorry, New England, but you are not getting Trevor Lawrence, and this will be a Chargers victory.
Yeah, the Patriots. I mean, the only good thing going for them is that there's 6 quarterbacks that are probably going to go in the first round of this year's draft. So,
That's fair, yeah.
Only good thing going for them, but who knows if they'll even be able to get those 6 with how high they may go. But now the Eagles, and they have a backup quarterback over there that a lot of people are thinking who should be starting
That's what I was going to talk about earlier.
Soon. And they're going to Green Bay to face the Packers, who also got a really highly rated rookie in Jordan Love this year. Hasn't played, is definitely not going to play for probably another year. Actually, give it 2 years probably, if I'm being realistic. But this is a game chalk for me, another chalk game. Packers going to win it. Devontae Adams, we have. He is going to go off, even though he's going against Darius Slay. He's got to burn him. Hate the Eagles. You guys know who I'm a fan of, so Eagles going to struggle.
I think they can maybe tell from your background. Just maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Probably not, but we'll see. But Eagles, I think.
Yeah. No, you go. Yeah. But no, I'm. If you're not done, you're good.
All right. So last thing, I think this is the game Jalen Hurts ends up coming in. I think this is the game. I think after halftime they're going to make the adjustment. I think a lot of the pressure of the Green Bay Packers defense, Jair Alexander at the cornerback position, they're not going to get the pass game going. And then you got Zadarius and Preston Smith. Preston Smith starting to come along. He had a slow start to the season, but Zadarius Smith playing great. It's going to be a really tough game for Carson Wentz, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to end up coming in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying when I was talking about the Eagles earlier. I wanted to talk about the quarterback situation, obviously, and I think you did a great job of touching on it there. Really weird what they did last week with bringing in Hurts for like a play and then taking him out. That was stupid.
And they said he was getting a lot of snaps.
Yeah, they were giving him first team reps for him to play less than he like normally does. But to me, that didn't make much sense. But you got to give Hurts a go, and this is gonna be the game. I think you're gonna be down a lot of scores at halftime. So I agree with you at half or at the end of the middle of the third. It's gonna be Hurts time, and we're gonna see what he does. I mean, you just need to give the ball to him. To me, they've lost the division at this point. The schedule does not get any easier for them. They've got Green Bay, they've got the Saints, they've got the Cardinals, and then the Cowboys and football team. I think football team's better than them. Cowboys in Dallas is never an easy game. So to me, you've lost the division lead now that you've like actually lost it. So the division's gone. It's time to see what Jalen Hurts can do. Carson Wentz, he's just bad at this point. I don't know what to say. I don't know what happened to him. Don't know if you can hear my dog barking, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Carson Wentz. I mean, I've always said he's bad, and I always stood by that. But he's really showed it this year, man. And it's dead money on the payroll with his contract, so they're going to be stuck with him. But we'll see if Hurts can get the job done eventually.
Yep, agree with everything you said there. And now a team that is going to be regaining their quarterbacks, all 4. We all know this. The Broncos are getting their quarterbacks back this week, and they're going to Kansas City to face their division rival Chiefs. And honestly, I feel like these Broncos Chiefs games always have potential for a Broncos win or a little upset here. And I actually think for some reason, I just have a gut feeling this game is going to be close. Of course, I think the Chiefs' offense is going to be explosive as always, but I think the Broncos and their offense is going to be able to hang with them this week. Actually, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You got Judy, of course, on the outside. You got Noah Fant, who could have a big game this week. And defensively, the Broncos, they've started to look a little bit they've looked a little bit better recently. Of course, last week allowed 31, but they have a lot of potential on that defense, especially with Justin Simmons and Bradley Chubb, so you can never count them out on that end. But the Chiefs, great team. They are going to get a win here, but I think it's actually going to be a pretty hard one for the Chiefs this week.
I completely agree with everything you said once again. I agree. I think this Broncos team is going to be hungry and they're going to be ready to go. I think they're going to be, yeah, I think they're going to be playing for something. They're going to be playing to show, hey, this is ridiculous that we had to play with no quarterback.
Yep.
We can beat any team in this league. And I think they're going to try and show it with the Kansas City Chiefs. That said, they lost to the Chiefs by a lot earlier this year. Let's see what that score was exactly, 43-16. In no world am I picking against the Chiefs here, and I think you would agree the same here. You're not picking against the Chiefs. You're probably not picking against the Chiefs in any game for the rest of the year. Chiefs Saints, can't wait for that. But the rest of these games, unless something unforeseen happens, like an injury, God forbid that happens to any of those stars on the Chiefs, but I can't pick against them here. I agree with you that it's going to be closer than people think, but I'm still going Chiefs maybe by a touchdown, maybe 10 points, but I can't see it getting closer than that to me.
Yep, agree with you there. And I mean, if the Broncos do pull an upset, I mean, expect the NFL world to be crazy next week. They are going to go, especially these Broncos fans, they're going to be angry really at the NFL. You're going to see a lot of them coming out and show how mad they are. If they somehow end up beating the Chiefs, they're going to come back saying, that's the reason you should have postponed the game. We could have had a shot against the Saints too. And this is going to be a really interesting if the Broncos somehow end up pulling out a win here.
For sure.
But
Washington Steelers. I got a weird feeling, and
I have it too. I have the same exact feeling. I have it. I'm going to go with it too.
I'm going to go Washington here. I like what I've seen these past few weeks. Alex Smith seems to know what he's doing. They just blew out your Dallas Cowboys, although that feels like ages ago.
Yeah,
beat the Bengals. But we're seeing a good football team right now. Their defense is strong. That front seven's going to bring a lot of power. We'll see if James Conner's back. It won't air nationally. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess we won't be able to watch this Monday night game or Monday afternoon sort of evening game. But I'm going to go football team here for the Steelers' first loss. They're too due for a loss, and they had a rough week this week. So football team could capitalize on that.
Give me the football team as well. I hate to say it, division rival, but I hate them the least in the NFC least to say that's how I'll put it. But the football team playing great. My Cowboys demolished them. They came up big in the end of the game when the Cowboys were trying to pull off a comeback, and they shut them down, got the interception. They even had a fumble on Zeke. Zeke not looking himself. But the football team, they're playing great, and especially rookie running back Antonio Gibson. The kid's a beast. He runs free, 3 touchdowns last week. He's going to be great for the football team for future years in a while now. But the Steelers, especially after the game Tuesday, this is kind of a short week. I mean, only what days? They're only having 5 days or something like that, if I'm doing the math correctly. But they could barely hang in there with the Ravens, who have really their whole team is injured. So you're going against a front seven not injured. That's great. You got Chase Young, Ryan Kerrigan, a lot of ballers. You're going to struggle, and I think this is a game where the football team comes out with a close win. I'm thinking maybe something like 3 points, something like that. But football team, this is the upset of the year.
Upset of the year. You said it best right there. I couldn't agree more.
Yep. But we have this game. I mean, 49ers, after how they played last week, maybe they could pull an upset here. And this is the Buffalo Bills I'm talking about. And they're going to San Francisco to play the 49ers. 49ers pulling off that big upset last week over the Rams. And the Bills handing out the first not one score loss to the Chargers last week. So 2 teams who played really well in their previous week. And Griffin, I'm going to start with you for this one.
I'm going to go Buffalo here. To me, the Niners have been good. They're still too injured. I know they're getting guys back. They got Mostert back. Richard Sherman's back. So slowly you got guys coming back, but no Jimmy G, no George Kittle, no Nick Bosa. Those guys could be probably done for the year, the way it's looking for them in San Francisco. So I'm going to go Buffalo. They've played really well, and it's hard to pick against them in this matchup. And they gave the Chargers their first one score loss. So to me, even that means that that's something special is cooking in Buffalo. If you can do that to the Chargers, so
of course.
Yeah, I'll go Buffalo here.
Yep, I'm gonna agree with you there, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if somehow the 49ers start to string something together. I mean, as I said for like the millionth time today, they played great in previous weeks, and I'm really surprised how they beat the Rams. So I wouldn't be surprised. Anything could happen in this game, but the Buffalo Bills and Stephon Diggs especially, I think he's going to have a great game this week. The Bills should be able to win by 10 points, at least in my opinion, maybe even 13-ish. But we're going to see, and this is going to be a pretty good game if the 49ers somehow string something together early.
Completely agree with that. And the best for last.
Oh, yeah, the best for
The
last.
Dallas Cowboys. Dez is coming back. Or not coming back to Dallas, but he's facing Dallas. Facing Dallas.
Yes, this is a game I'm excited for, and this is a game I have a slight gut feeling about. Slight gut feeling.
Oh boy.
At this point, it's really tank for my Dallas Cowboys. It's team tank for me. I think I've decided on that. I'm tanking. Let's just go ball out next year after we get a great top 5 pick, get that back. I mean, I'm ready. Let's tank. But Cowboys, I think, are going to win this game. If Lamar Jackson is out. If he's not out, I'll take the Ravens. But right now, I've been seeing things where they're still unsure of Lamar Jackson's status. So for that reason, I'll take the Cowboys.
He's going to go against Trace McSorley.
Imagine with Ben DiNucci.
DiNucci, I was just going to. Is DiNucci even on the team anymore?
He is, yeah. He's the third stringer now. But
so it's Dalton, Garrett, Gilbert, and then DiNucci.
Yep, DiNucci. But I think if McSorley's in, they have to put DiNucci in. They just have to for the meme.
They have it's just they have to. But yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens here. I can't pick the Cowboys. I'm sorry. They just got blown out by a football team. I mean, there's
yeah, I get
it's hard to pick against them. The Ravens' offense is terrible, so I definitely think it's going to be a closer game than people think. But Ravens do have a good defense. People forget about that. They might be, I believe, 6-6 now. Their defense is very good. Their defense is the best part of that football team for sure. So I think the Dallas Cowboys offense is just going to have some problems getting going. Zeke's going to have a bad game again. Maybe we'll see a nice game from some of those receivers. But to me, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for the Dallas Cowboys offense. I think it'll be low scoring, honestly. Even if Lamar plays, I feel like it could be low scoring if he's missing like a Mark Andrews. It's kind of safety blanket. And I don't know what the running backs are up to. I think they're back this week. I'm not too sure. So they're good to go. So we might see them go run heavy. But Dallas could stop those guys. I mean, Mark Ingram is not that dominant. JK's, solid, but he's a rookie. So nothing too special there. So I'm going to go Baltimore here for their 7th win of the season. And that team is in very serious jeopardy in the playoffs, which is very interesting since many people favored them to win the AFC even.
And I think something notable while we're on the Ravens is, it's a Ravens Chiefs thing, but I think Patrick Mahomes, he's the only one who's been able to overcome the Madden curse. Lamar Jackson, that hit him hard. I mean, seriously, it did. That's all I gotta say. But only one quarterback, one player in the NFL is able to overcome the Madden, and that's my homeboy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the Madden curse is real. It's really weird. It must be a psychological thing at this point, because or maybe it's a real curse. Who freaking knows at this point? Who freaking knows?
All right. So,
is there anything else you want to touch on?
I'm good. I was about to ask you the same thing. Anything for you?
I mean, not really. I mean, we saw
Jake Paul.
I'm trying to think of the other sports. we did see Jake Paul and the Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson fight was whatever. I mean, those guys are. It just seems like a charity match exhibition, not a draw in my opinion. But yeah, the Jake Paul knockdown was pretty vicious. I was watching it live, and Snoop Dogg said it best, and I quote, "Oh Lord."
What a commentator!
It was hysterical. Oh my God! Overall good event. They had some good performances there too. So maybe. Pay-per-views are always rough for the money, but I wasn't too unpleased, and some of the undercards were all right. I'm a big boxing guy, honestly. I've started to fall into boxing, but Jake Paul KSI. I mean, that's the story everyone wants to hear. I mean, he's calling out McGregor. I mean, he's talking smoke.
Yeah, I was about to see that too.
He won't beat Conor.
Get ready for that matchup.
I mean, if he fights Conor McGregor anytime in the next year, I think it would be bad for Mr. Jake Paul. He would, if you wait till McGregor ages a bit, then maybe, but. It's talking smoke. It's not wise of him to go straight for Conor McGregor right now.
Not at all. I mean,
other than that, MLB free agency starting to get going. We're going to start covering that once it really kicks into gears, Mets signed Trevor May this week. Good bullpen signing for my Mets. They're interested in James McCann, which I like if it means they'll pursue guys like Trevor Bauer, George Springer as well. So I know Mac probably doesn't know what I'm really saying right now or who these people are, but I'm educating him, guys. Don't worry. We're going to have a lot more baseball discussions very soon. And once that stuff heats up, expected to be at the forefront of Outside the Arena. We're going to make sure to cover all that, as well as the new NBA season. That's going to be starting in this month. That's wild.
You forget
like
about
just yesterday.
The draft
really
happened so fast. The season's about to start. I mean,
it was the draft, free agency, and all the trades happened within 1 week, and it was wild. So we covered that. It might have been last episode or 2 episodes ago. I believe it was probably 2 episodes ago now. So if you want to see our free agency draft breakdown, go find that. It's probably 2 episodes ago.
Yep.
But yeah, Mac, you want to wrap this one up for us? I got nothing else to say. So unless you got something, take us home.
All right, I'll wrap it up. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of Outside the Arena with Mac and Griff. Make sure to follow us on all social media. But let's start off by saying like, comment, and subscribe. We need those subs up. I mean, I don't know if I haven't got a subscriber, but it's been a while. I think we're bound for some soon. And this episode, whoever's watching at this point, go down. Just do it. Just help a brother out, please.
If you're watching at this point, give us a comment too. Just say anything, what you like the most. But if you are watching, we'd really, really appreciate it if you just say something and let us know. We want to know who's watching, if anyone's still watching, and give us feedback too. One thing we're talking about in the new year, we're really got big ambitions. We talked about it last week a little bit. Second channel, it's going to be coming soon. We're probably aiming for that in the new year. And any other ideas we're open to. We want to really get this thing going, and we want to make it super friendly for everyone else, and expect some really good interviews. We're going to really start working. We've been a little lazy with them, to be honest, in trying to get those interviews, but we are going to be having a lot of people on, and we are going to be producing a lot of content. So stay tuned and get excited.
Yep, everyone, be ready. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram, and especially if you guys have any guests or anything like that, or any opinions, that's where it is. It's probably the easiest and best place to reach us. So my Instagram is mac.rommel. Griffin's Instagram is
Griffin Senek.
And our podcast Instagram is Outside the Arena Podcast. Please feel free to reach out to us there. Anything you guys want to say or even just talk, that's the best place to reach out. And with that, we'll see you all next week on Outside the Arena.